Well, everyone, it's time for us to go into another battery comparison between all the kind of latest flagship phones that have came out the last year or two, with the Samsung Galaxy S24, with the iPhone 15, the Google Pixel 8, and the Samsung Galaxy S23. And I have a Galaxy S21 at the end timing, but it's plugged in and charged. Here's the thing. From the display standpoint, they're all on their max brightness, so they're all at the max brightness as they can get, and all the apps are clear in the background. So I'm going to go and load up on the apps, but you can see basically they're all loaded up. Now, essentially what's going to happen is whatever I do on one phone, I will do on the other. So whatever I do on the Galaxy S24, I'll do on the Pixel 8, all the other ones. So they're all going to go down at the exact same time, hopefully. If I have to kind of guess, I would probably say the iPhone 15 may last the longest. I also think the Pixel 8 is going to do good, and I think the Galaxy S24 is going to do good as well. So we'll check back in every once in a while, like every hour or two. For the first hour, I'm just gonna play a YouTube video in the background because if I don't, the screen on the Galaxy S20s will go and kind of time out. So I'll just load a video up in the background and we'll check back in about another hour and we'll basically see where we're at from there. So we'll see you then. All right, everyone, we are at the 1 hour and 17-minute mark. Sorry, I'm a little late to this. I was supposed to check back in an hour, and we're at varying battery life. So they were literally just on YouTube for the last hour and 17 minutes, and this is where they're at. The Galaxy S24 is at 92%. The iPhone 15 is at 92% as well. That's very random. The Google Pixel 8 is at 90%, and the Galaxy S23 all the way at the end is at 93%. So surprisingly, I don't know why, the Galaxy S23 is doing the best right now, and the Pixel 8's doing the worst. These two are basically tied in right now, basically neck and neck. That is a very, very surprising thing. I was not expecting the Galaxy S23 to even be better in any way, and I have no idea why. So I'm going to basically view this a little bit further. Like I said, when I'm looking at the displays, it kind of looks like to me the Pixel 8 has a brighter display, although this one does have the brightest display on paper. So we'll check back in about another hour and see where we're at. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do a temple run test after that. That's a very surprising thing right there. So we'll check back in about another hour. All right, everyone, at the 2 hour and 20-minute mark, once again, we are at varying battery lives. The Galaxy S24 is at 85%. The iPhone 15 is now at 79%. It's very interesting. The Pixel 8 is also at 79%, and the Galaxy S23 is at 86%. I have no idea why the Galaxy S23 is doing so well, but this is kind of interesting because we've only been loading up a YouTube video in the background, not even the full YouTube video, just on the side for all of them. Now we're going to load up a game. We're going to go and load up Temple Run 2. This is not an intensive game by any means. It's not the biggest game of all time. But what's interesting about Temple Run 2 is that it'll just keep running for hours and hours and hours, and it will eventually drain out the battery. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to load up Temple Run 2 in the background of all of them while we're still playing this YouTube video. So nothing is going to change. All we're doing is just loading up this video in the background, and we're also going to play Temple Run 2. And we're going to see what happens. I am shocked that the Galaxy S23 is doing this well as of right now. So we'll check back in about another hour, maybe hour and a half, and see where we're at. All right, everyone, it's been about another hour and a half since our last check-in. So let me go ahead and basically swipe out of all these. They literally were just playing Temple Run 2 for the last hour, an hour and a half. So my Galaxy S24 right now is at 62%. My iPhone 15 is at, what is this at? It's at 60%, so a little bit less than the S24. The Galaxy S20, the Google Pixel 8 is at 52%, and the S23 at the end is at 57%. So we're actually at a state now where the Galaxy S23 is actually at a lower battery percentage than almost all the other phones. So that's, except for the Pixel 8. So that's exactly what happens, and that's exactly what I thought was going to happen with a device like the Galaxy S23. I don't know why the Google Pixel 8 is doing this poorly. It's very interesting to me. I guess we'll check back in about another hour. So I'm literally going to load up Temple Run 2 again, let them die out from there, and see where we're at. So we'll check back in about another hour and see where we're at. All right, everyone, another hour has passed, and we are at varying battery lives once again. So I'm going to hop out of all of these on all of them, and if we kind of get into it, I mean, it's been over an hour since even the last time I checked in, which is crazy. My Galaxy S24 currently is at 39%. My iPhone 15 is at 42%, not doing too bad. The Pixel 8 is at 29%, and the Galaxy S23 all the way at the end is at 30%. So far the Google Pixel 8 is still doing pretty much the worst, but not by much because the Galaxy S23 is about to end it. You can see that the S24 is in second place, and then the iPhone 15 is pretty much in first place right now. Now, I want you to notice again, it's very interesting to me how fast these things kind of changed. At first, we were at the Galaxy S24 doing the best, and the S23 doing the best or something like that, right? Now, things have changed. Now, when you're actually using them and doing some performance, even though we're not doing anything crazy, you're starting to see some bigger changes here. So we're going to let them run again for another hour. I genuinely do think these tempo run tests would drain the battery at a very good rate. If I loaded up something like Genshin Impact or like like Call of Duty Mobile, those games would run off too and they'd go down. But with those games, like with Temple Run 2, it goes down at an even pace, which gives us more of a likelihood of how good the battery life would be. So we'll check back in about another hour, maybe another hour and a half, and basically see where we're at. Right, everyone, we are now at the 7 hour mark, and surprisingly, they're all still alive, which is great. Hopping out of all these applications, though, you can kind of see what we're working with. And with the Samsung Galaxy S24, we're currently at 15%, so this one's about to die. The iPhone 15 is at 23%, which is very decent. The Samsung Galaxy S23 just died right now at the 7 hour mark. That's the first time it's ever happened. And the Pixel 8 is at 4%. So as of right now, the Galaxy S23 just died, which is crazy. That's the first time it's ever happened on video. So you can kind of see from all these devices, the S23 was the one that didn't last the longest so far, but it actually still lasted quite a bit of time. So we're going to just go back in time, or not go back in time, but we're going to go back and play Temple Run 2 again. I would imagine within the next hour, we're probably going to see both the Pixel 4 or Pixel 8 die, and maybe just maybe the Galaxy S23 may also die in some ways. Well, I guess we're going to see. But I mean, from the last time I checked into now, there was some really big, damage done to these devices in terms of the battery going down. So we'll check back in about another hour and see where we're at. Well, everyone, at the 7 hour and about 46-minute mark, basically all the phones ended up dying except for the iPhone 15. I have to use my flashlight. It ended up dying about 2 minutes ago, but I had to go run for a light because my other light stopped working. And the iPhone 13 right now is kind of hard to tell, ended off at 13%. So the fact that all these other phones basically died around the 7 hour-ish mark shows to me that so far the iPhone 15 is the battery king. From my personal test, again, this is one test. This isn't the tell all the end all of tests. But what I can definitely tell you from my personal opinion on all these devices is that the Samsung Galaxy S23 kind of did a better job than I thought it was going to do. I didn't think it was going to, I knew it was going to end off, at the latest, but I didn't think it was going to end off exactly where it did. I thought it was going to end up probably lasting significantly less than the Galaxy S24. So I don't know how I feel about this. Do I feel like the Samsung Galaxy S24's battery life was great? Not really. Like, I actually thought the Galaxy S23, it did outperform the Pixel 8, which was nice, in the Galaxy S23. But I thought the S24 was going to probably last at least until like the 8 hour mark, at least like an extra hour on top of the S23. But that didn't really end up happening. Now with the iPhone 15, this is the device I'm probably the happiest about. The fact that this iPhone lasted that much longer than all these other phones is it's basically super surprising to me. I feel like this phone could easily last another like hour and a half, maybe 2 hours more, maybe like an hour and a half, I'll probably call it that. That's a pretty big difference between even the Galaxy S24, let alone the Pixel 8 and the S23. So when it comes down to it, I'll definitely tell you, if you're wanting the better phone, with the best battery life, I think the iPhone 15 from this one small test is probably the better way to go. The S24 did the second best, and the Pixel 8 did the third best. And, all the other older phones with smaller batteries are going to do, worse than these devices. So that pretty much covers it up here. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.